Okay, just before we start the main course, as promised, Jacob has worked very hard to prepare not only his laning this morning, but also the drosha tonight. He's going to take the floor. That's my speech.
First of all, thank you for letting us use their hall tonight. And also thank you to everyone here for coming. It means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to my parents. Tonight, I want to talk about fire. I'm old enough to play with matches now. Yes. As a kid, I've grown up watching as my mum lights the candles on Friday night in the autumn. I've watched the candles flicker long into the night as we sit with family and friends around the Shabbat table and have those very special times. And I know that fire and its place in Jewish history and in Torah and Jewish thought is an interesting metaphor for bar mitzvah. So, I've tried to look into the subject and learn more about fire. And tonight, I wanted to bring 3 ideas about fire as a metaphor for bar mitzvah. The first idea is this. Fire is there when Hashem is there. Like bar mitzvah, it symbolizes the potential for holiness in the world. We see that fire's potential for holiness in many examples. From the fire that did not consume the bramble bushes on Mount Horeb, to the fire that miraculously did not burn Abraham. From the pillar of fire that guarded Bnei Israel in the Midbar, to the fiery menorah sent to Moshe as a vision from Hashem. From the Mishkan, which was built with fire, to the Hanukkah story where the miracle kept the fire burning for 8 days. Hashem speaks to us with fire, and he asks us to speak back to him with mitzvot. He brings fire to us, we bring mitzvot to him. And as a bar mitzvah, I can bring more mitzvot to Hashem now. Just a simple example would be tefillin. I've enjoyed my first few weeks of connecting to Hashem through the mitzvah of putting on tefillin. The second idea about fire and bar mitzvah is this. Fire releases a wave of new potential and meaning for an object, just like bar mitzvah releases new potential and meaning for me. We see how fire can take an ordinary thing, and once it starts to burn, it spits and hurls with new energy. For example, take wood. A piece of wood is just a piece of wood, no more, no less. Add fire to it, and suddenly it roars, rages, and surges with new meaning, new power, and new fuel. Add fire. Can you stop? Add fire, and wood becomes heat. Wood becomes energy. Wood becomes light. Fire ignites the wood's potential. This is very much like adding new mitzvot to the obligations of a bar mitzvah boy. What was once the child's simple set of brachas suddenly becomes a mitzvah to fill in, or making a minyan, or laning. The mitzvot ignite a bar mitzvah boy's potential. The third idea that connects fire and bar mitzvah is this. Fire is transformative. It changes things. Fire creates a new spiritual purpose for things that were previously just physical. Some examples of this are candles and korbanot. If you take something physical like an ordinary candle and you add fire to it with the right intentions and you use it in the right way, it suddenly goes from being an ordinary physical object with no spiritual purpose to being a holy Shabbat candle. Fire releases and reveals the spiritual fuel within ordinary items and makes them holy. Bar mitzvah also reveals the spiritual fuel within us. If the opportunities that arise when you become bar mitzvah are taken and used in the right way, it can transform an ordinary human being into a spiritual, holy, God-serving Jew that fulfills his potential. And yet, ask most people what they think of when fire is mentioned, and their reaction would be tragedy, destruction, and danger. But in Jewish thought, we understand that fire is also holy. Fire is a sign of Hashem, and it releases potential. Even though it can be destructive, when fire does destroy something, it simultaneously creates the potential for something new. Just like a bar mitzvah, it creates the powerful potential for something transformative and new. As one chapter in my life ends, a new one begins. My bar mitzvah, like fire, directs me towards Hashem in the world. My bar mitzvah, like fire, allows my potential to rise up and search forward in the world. My bar mitzvah, like fire, is transformative for me. It takes what was me and gives me new status, new mitzvot, and of course new responsibilities. As a metaphor for bar mitzvah, fire is something I know I will always see in the rituals of our Jewish way of life. I hope that when I see fire, when I see the candles burn, when I see the Ner Tamid, these things and more will always remind me of my bar mitzvah and always remind me of my spiritual potential. And one last thought. As we approach Lag BaOmer, a time of fire, I see those candles in my grandparents' homes and my parents' home. I see those flames on Friday nights and Yom Tovs. I see those flames, and I know that the organization that really took my parents' Jewish life to the next level was H. Fire. It is my birthday, so I suppose I should out. It was only a metaphor anyway. But the beauty is, from now on, it's the fire in here that really counts.
So I'm not ladies and gentlemen, I think it's just help yourself, or maybe should I